The men's finalists: Krauser, Fisher, Holloway, Curley, Lyles, Norman. Now I know what you're saying. Hey, Kevin, you could just take your World Athlete of the Year and then pick whoever was the top American, and that would be your U.S. Athlete of the Year.
Yeah.
And I would say, correct, it's Noah Lyles.
How do you think? Okay, it's Noah Lyles, but how do you think? What nominees got snubbed?
So let's pull up that list one more time.
Show that main graphic.
So you obviously have Lyles, American record, undefeated in the 2, gold medal. You have Krauser, who took a couple losses to Kovacs, didn't win World Indoors, but won World Outdoors. You have Fisher, who broke a bunch of American records, but didn't medal at Worlds, which is tough when you're going against a U.S. field. You have Holloway, indoor, outdoor, Diamond League, which some people are calling what, Gordon?
The trifecta.
The trifecta. Had a few losses. Curley, 100-meter champion. And then you have Michael Norman, had some fast times, won the quarter at Worlds, had a fast 200 time, but that's it. I don't know who. I can't. I mean, you could say Joe Kovacs got snubbed, but then everybody who picks these teams or picks these pools of finalists never wants to put 2 people in who have the same primary event.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I honestly believe actually, I'll save it, but I honestly believe Grant Fisher should win.
No.
Yes.
No. Why are you saving that take? Explain why Grant Fisher should win.
That's the correct take, because
this is such a bad take.
No.
Yes, this is
it's U.S. Athlete of the Year, not best U.S. athlete to perform at Worlds. Like, we should not let the world competition influence who the best U.S. athlete is.
But they're competing against the
world. So hold on. So if Grant Fisher was a marathoner and he ran a 2:01 marathon and got second to Kipchoge, but Noah Lyles goes out and wins the 200 and wins, who had a better race? Noah Lyles win the 200 against the international 200-meter field, or Grant Fisher getting second in the marathon to Ilya Kipchoge?
So you're comparing the 5 and 10,000 meter fields right now to the marathon?
I'm using it as an example. I do think that there's not an equivalent of a Jakob Ingebrigtsen in the 200.
What do you mean? He lost to Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
Yeah.
And he lost a bunch of he didn't medal.
I know.
He went on the podium. Noah Lyles ran 1931.
I know he ran 1931, but
broke the American record.
Grant Fisher broke 4 American records.
That's awesome.
How many American records did...
We're really going to do that? We're really going to count the amount of American records there are?
I think when you're going to U.S. Athlete of the Year,
oh my gosh.
I think the most important factor is American records over world titles.
No,
yes, 100%. This is not a world title Athlete of the Year. It's the American history. People win titles all the time, but people don't break records all the time. No. This is.
Are you just doing this?
No, I'm not. I honestly believe that.
Okay, first of all,
when you're doing Athlete of the Year for the U.S.,
you should just count who gets the most American records.
Okay, let's Athlete of the Year. What's important? Wins, medals, and records. Right?
Fast times. Yep.
Yeah.
Not necessarily records.
All right. Fast times, medals.
Here's where
records.
Here's where you're. Okay, go ahead. Finish. Sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
Fast times, medals, and records. Right? I think when it comes to the world stage.
No, fast times, medals, and wins. Fast times and records are the same thing.
Okay. Fast times, medals, and wins.
Yep.
I believe that at the world stage, at the end of the day, this is it's a sport that matters about. It's not about time. It's about winning. So that's for worlds. Okay. I'm confusing myself as I talk.
Yeah.
So let me
do you want to back out?
No.
You put the car in reverse. We're
just gonna do a reset.
You can undo this.
We're gonna do a reset. What I'm trying to say is
this is really bad.
We should not. Why are we using Noah Lyles compared to non-Americans versus Grant Fisher compared to non-Americans as the litmus test of who was the better U.S. athlete? It should be Noah Lyles versus Americans and Grant Fisher versus Americans. Guess what? Grant Fisher won the 5K.
Yeah.
Noah Lyles won the 200.
Okay.
Grant Holloway shouldn't even be nominated. he scratched the 110 hurdles.
So
from
basically
USA's.
you're saying
Like Grant Holloway should not even be on this list
So-
because he didn't even run at USA's.
give the award after USA's.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you this though.
What?
Not all records are created equal. I know that's going to be a surprising thing
Okay,
for you.
fair
but
enough. So
Michael
you're
Johnson's 1932 is a better mark than
Hold on.
the 5 and the 10 marks are.
One Michael Johnson 19.3, I think is less than 4 Galen Rupp records.
Well, one was a Legat record.
Legat. For
Indoors,
Rupp/Legat.
he's running 3,000s. He's running like off-distance stuff that does. I mean,
Oh, no, we can't ignore indoor. No. Actually, that's a good reason. Noah Lyles did nothing indoors.
that's true. Fisher didn't run that much though either. If you
He
look
only
at him.
broke the American record twice indoors
Yeah.
and twice outdoors.
I know, but I could hear if Lyles broke the indoor 200 record. I can already hear what you would have said. You'd have been like, "That's a fake record. That's a fake time. That doesn't matter."
That's true.
He's better relative to his event.
Do you understand though that we can't just
I
Look,
don't.
You said
because-
at the top of the just whoever is nominated for Athlete of the Year at the world stage, that's who should win it at the U.S. stage. And I don't think that's fair because this is a U.S. award, not a best runner in the world
I know,
award.
but what that means is the best athlete who happens to be an American. It doesn't mean the best American athlete when they were only competing against other Americans in specific events. That's like saying you have a AFC MVP and an NFC MVP, and you're only going to look at when they compete against AFC or NFC teams. You're creating a distinction that doesn't even
When they
need
do
to
that
exist
baseball,
there.
there's an NL MVP and an AL MVP.
Right. But you'd never say that Aaron Judge is the overall MVP of all of baseball, but somebody else is better than him just when you consider AL competition. That's silly. That's just creating way too much work, way much unnecessary thinking. Yeah, All in the Game says, does the strength and depth of competition matter? The U.S. 200-meter field is more competitive than the U.S. 5 and 10K fields. Yes, it does. That's same thing with the records. You don't think it does. You think Arian Knighton and Kenny Bednarik are just as stout of competition as Woody Kincaid and Abdi Hamid Nur?
No,
That's what you're saying?
That's a good argument on your point. I'll give you two points for Gryffindor there. But what I'm saying is I'm talking about Legat and Rupp versus Michael Johnson.
Okay, it's Michael Johnson. What's the question?
Legat? No. Whoa.
Yes.
Bernard Legat.
That time, if we're talking about just times, that time is better than the 5K time. Objectively, that time is better than the 5K time. There's no debate here. What are you talking about?
How much? Okay,
12:53.
Okay, what's?
I mean, he broke it by a lot. I'll give you that. But give me a break. Look at where it sits. Was that even the? That's not even the world. He didn't win that race.
Hold on. Okay.
What are we talking about here, man?
What are we talking? Okay. I'm trying to weave the maze to get to.
Fisher is 18th all time.
Okay, I don't
in the
care.
5,000.
Look at okay, what is 19th or what?
He's fourth.
They're both outside the top 3.
Good. They're both outside the top 1 too.
Okay, wait, hold on. What? How many points is so 5K, right? What was more impressive, his 5K or his?
In terms of points, I don't know.
1258. Okay, his 10K was worth 1,268 points. What was? This is the moment of no return.
You've already.
Yeah, it was much better. 1331. Okay.
Wait, which one was better? The 5K or the 10K?
Noah Lyles' 19.3 was more impressive than Grant Fisher's.
Yes, I didn't need
10K.
to look that up. You know why?
Why?
Because I've been paying attention to track for more than a decade.
Yeah, more than a decade?
I know. Like this isn't hard.
Okay, I'll give you this. Yes. Noah Lyles' 1931 is more impressive than Grant Fisher's 10K or his 5K. But is Noah Lyles' 1931 more impressive than Grant Fisher's 10K plus 5K plus indoor 3K plus indoor 5K?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, no, it's not just Noah Lyles' 1931. It's his 46. It's his 1952. It's his 1956. It's the 61, the 62. I mean, the depth of performances for Lyles this year was crazy, especially post-Olympics.
Yeah, but I just think that
he goes 31, 46, 56, 52.
I just think that when I look at
this isn't even a debate between him and Fisher. You'd have a better argument if you're talking Krauser. You'd have a better argument with Curley. I mean, even Holloway, you'd have a better argument.
You know how like you go to like a track and they have like the records and it's a list of like 100, 200, 400 hurdles all the way down the list. You have a bunch of names.
The stadium records?
Stadium records.
Yes, I've heard of them.
You know?
Yeah.
They have that for USA, right?
Yeah.
The indoor list and the outdoor list.
Yes.
That list now has Grant Fisher's name on it all over. I just see one name where it says Noah Lyles. I see the word Grant Fisher 4 times in 1 year.
What's the term that they use on the internet?
In 1 year.
Casual? You're being a casual. I see his name more. That means he's better.
I mean, the guy's,
let's take away all the context
guy
of the history of the United States.
He spammed the record books this year.
Let's look at the history of the United States in the 200 versus the 5,000 and the 10,000. Like, yes, when you remove all context, it's just like saying, man, I could have beaten Centro in the 2016 Olympics. Because look at his time. It was slow.
No,
it's the exact same thing.
No, it's not the exact same thing.
You're just looking at one thing and taking away
I think
all
there
the
should be
context
some
from around.
credit to the totality of basically overriding all of the great U.S. distance runners, and it's just now all Grant Fisher.
That's awesome that he did that. Again, it's
awesome. That's awesome is worth an award.
Yeah,
maybe athlete of the year.
Maybe 4th on here. He's behind Lyles. He's behind Krauser. I'd put him behind Holloway.
Holloway didn't even run USA's.
I'd probably put.
You can give athlete of the year to the person who didn't even run at the meet.
Yeah, because it's not about one meet. Probably ahead of. I put Curly ahead of him. Maybe I put him ahead of Norman.
You would not put him ahead of Norman. I mean, you're not putting him behind Norman. Come on.
Be close. Norman had a good year. Had a couple 43s.
I just think that. Like, there's something special about 4 records in 1 year. That doesn't happen often.
Fisher ran 4 5,000s, 3 10,000s.
I just say he has 4 records in 1 year.
That's awesome.
In the distance events.
And I'm so proud of him for doing that, and that's great. But
and he didn't, like, break, like, random, like...
Well, come on.
Bullshit records. They broke records held by Rupp and Legat.
Look at the actual context of it. Like, he has more opportunities for records. With the 3,000 being there.
Noah Lyles can run the 60. He can run the 100 if he wants.
He did. He
didn't break the records.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as going indoor, outdoor, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. Again, Fisher had a great season, but you're not going to put him ahead of Lyles. He doesn't meet, of the 3 criteria we talked about, times, no.
Yes.
Medals,
he broke records.
No. Competition, no. Lyles is undefeated. Lyles got the gold. Lyles has faster marks. You just did the math.
Lyles is not undefeated. Didn't he lose in the 100 a couple times?
I'm talking about the 2. You just did the math. You just admitted that you had no idea how fast a 19.31 is.
No,
it's insane.
I was just hoping. I was just crossing my eye.
You need to think about this. If you're going to go this direction, you need to think about it first. Because here's the problem.
My basis is 4 is greater than 1. That's my basis.
People have already turned off the clip by the time you've realized
4 is greater than 1.
That's true.
That's my basis.
That's awesome. I'm going to wait. I'm going to find a year when someone goes like indoor, outdoor, triple jump American record and then say that person deserves it over some other person. You'd be like, wait, no.
People were doing that.
This is just because it's Fisher and he's your guy. But it's Lyles.
I love Lyles. That was my guy too. These are all my guys.
They're all of them.
Every single my guy.
Krauser's got the hat.
Kraus is my guy.
No, this isn't close. You could argue. I think you make it a good argument on those last few spots. But it's Lyles 1, Krauser 2.